Have you ever stopped to think why some people work so hard, day after day, year after year, and yet remain poor? Is it a lack of effort? Bad luck? Or is there something deeper, more invisible, that keeps these people from thriving? The truth is harsh, but it must be said. Hard work does not guarantee wealth. What separates those who live paycheck to paycheck from those who achieve financial freedom is not the amount of sweat. It's their level of understanding about how money really works. Today, you're going to discover 7 truths that most poor people simply ignore about money. And by the end, you'll understand why some people become wealthy, even starting from zero, while others, despite having every opportunity, remain stuck in the same place. One of the biggest myths we hear from a young age is, if you work hard, you'll be rewarded. But the real world works differently. Effort is important, but it doesn't guarantee a proportional financial return. What truly creates wealth are systems, structures that multiply your time, your energy, and your impact. Think about a small street business. The employee who sells, who fries, who cleans, gets paid by the hour. They trade time for money. The business owner, on the other hand, thinks about strategy, structure, suppliers, marketing. They create a system where other people and processes generate money for them. Now imagine going one step further, the supplier of the ingredients, or someone who created a chain of stalls under the same brand. With every level you climb in the system, the more control you have. And the more control, the greater the return. Many people make the mistake of thinking they just need to work more. But that's not the point. It's about where you're positioned in the system. Those who only execute tasks are replaceable. Those who understand and lead processes are indispensable and well paid. If you want to escape financial struggle, you need to stop thinking only like an executor. Start looking around and ask yourself, how does this system work? Where can I take more control? Which parts can I learn to master? Change begins with a new vision. You only have 24 hours in a day. And much of that is used to sleep, eat, commute, and rest. If all your income depends on the time you're awake and active, your earning potential is limited. That's why the only way to achieve real freedom is to make money work for you. This isn't motivational speech. It's the cold logic of numbers. Those who understand this invest. They build scalable businesses. They create sources of passive income. They do something once and earn from it for a long time. A video, a course, a book, an automated system, a rental, a franchise. There are many ways, but the principle is the same. Stop being the cog and start building the machine. If you work 8 hours a day, sleep another 8, and lose 2 in traffic, you're left with 6. That's when your real life happens. If that time is also consumed by financial worries, what's left for truly living? It's not about getting rich overnight. It's about creating a path where, little by little, money keeps coming in, even when you're not there. Everyone has an idea. Some have many. But ideas alone are worth nothing. What turns an idea into wealth is execution, and even more, the consistency of execution over time. You know that person who always says they're going to start a business, who has a brilliant idea. But the years go by and nothing changes. That's very common. Because having ideas is easy. What's hard is getting up early, being persistent, making adjustments, dealing with difficulties, and continuing. The truth is, even a mediocre idea can generate a lot of money if executed well. And a brilliant idea, without action, isn't worth the paper it's written on. Look at Google. It wasn't the first search engine. Starbucks didn't invent coffee. Nubank didn't create the digital bank concept. They just executed better than others. That's what separates dreamers from doers. Those who start and stop at the first difficulty from those who keep going until it works. Because in the beginning, everything is hard. Everything looks ugly. Everything seems like it won't work. But those who persist reap the rewards. Many people think they'll get rich by saving. They cut back on coffee, take cheaper transportation, walk miles to save a few cents. Meanwhile, they fail to invest in what could truly change their life: increasing income. It's not about spending recklessly. Of course, control is important, but living with a scarcity mindset, where every cent is a source of stress, is exhausting and doesn't lead to abundance. The question you should ask is, how can I earn more? If you're going to 3 different grocery stores to save 5 on tomatoes, why not use that time to learn something that can triple your salary? A course, a new skill, a side project, an extra income stream. The key is shifting your focus from cutting to growing. We live in the age of technology. Tools are everywhere: phones, the internet, apps, platforms. But the difference between those who thrive and those who stagnate is how they use those tools. You could have the best phone in the world, but if you only use it to scroll through social media, it's just an expensive toy. Now, if you use it to study, sell, create, or build a business, it becomes a machine of opportunities. The same goes for the internet. You can spend hours watching funny videos, or you can learn about finance, marketing, programming. The resource is the same. What changes is your intention. In practice, it all comes down to 2 attitudes: consume or create. Those who create build value. Those who only consume help others get rich. If you think earning more money will solve all your problems, think again. Thousands of people increase their income and still end up broke. Why? Because they don't know how to hold on to what they earn. Money requires discipline. It demands planning, long-term vision, and most importantly, self-control. You've probably heard stories of people who won the lottery and lost everything in a few years, or athletes who made millions and ended up in debt. The money comes in, but it quickly disappears when there's no mental structure to keep it. The question isn't, how much do you earn, but how much can you keep, invest, and multiply over time? Without financial education, money behaves like water slipping through your fingers. If you don't build barriers, it vanishes. There's a deep mindset difference between those who build wealth and those who live on the edge. While many seek safety, steady jobs, benefits, stability, the wealthy seek autonomy, creation, and return on investment. People who work for others are expenses. People who build something that generates profit are assets. That doesn't mean you need to quit your job tomorrow, but it does mean you need to change how you think. Start thinking like an owner. Ask yourself, how do I generate value? How can I multiply my results? What problem can I solve that others are willing to pay for? School trains good executors, but the world rewards those who lead, who take risks, who build. And remember, you don't need to be the smartest or the most technical. You just need to understand the real-life game. Wealth is a strategic construction, not a prize for being the best student. You can't evolve if you don't know where you are. It sounds simple, but few people track their own numbers. And this applies to everything: health, time, productivity, money. If you want to improve your finances, start writing everything down. Yes, everything. What comes in, what goes out, where every cent ends up. This will give you clarity. It will show patterns. It will reveal hidden problems. And most importantly, it will allow you to make better decisions. Those who don't look at their own numbers live in the dark, and those who live in the dark stumble. If you've made it this far, it's because you're looking for transformation. And the truth is, you can change your financial life, but it requires new habits, a new mindset, and consistent actions. You don't have to be a genius. You just have to start and not stop. If you enjoyed this video and want more content like this, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one. Until then, take care of your mind, your money, and your time. They are your greatest assets.